Global happenings today. We communicate, we analyze global news. Stay tuned.
Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to Global Happenings Today YouTube channel. Well, back home in Anambra State, his hometown, a lot is happening that is really disheartening about the Labour Party has reacted to it. And of course, Peter Obi's team also have looked into the matter. But this is what Anambra State government has got to say concerning the matter. Before we go into the newspaper, kindly subscribe to what the Labour Party LP has alleged that the Anambra State government has pulled down the campaign billboards of its presidential and senatorial candidate for Anambra Central, Mr. Peter Obi and Senator Victor Ume, respectively, mounted at strategic places in the state. The party accused the state governor, Chukwuma Soludo, of giving the order in that respect. A chieftain of the party who would not want to be mentioned at this stage of the impasse told journalists that Obi and Ume's large billboard at the Unizik temporary site flyover along Enugu-Onitsha Expressway was pulled down on Saturday by the Anambra Signage and Advertising Agency, that's Ansaa. He said, and I quote him, the billboard at Unizik temporary site junction along Enugu-Onitsha Expressway was on Saturday removed on the orders of Soludo. The advert was placed by an APCON registered advertising agency, which was fully paid for. Soludo said that he does not want Labour Party advert on such a strategic place and ordered the Anambra Signage Agency to refund the money it received for the advert. He also ordered the removal of the Labour Party advert at Afonobi Gantry. This advert has been there since October 2022. And was paid for even for 5 months. Responding to the allegation, the managing director of Anambra's Signage and Advertising Agency, Ansaa, Mr. Tony Ujubono, confirmed that the Labour Party billboard was removed on Saturday, but not on the orders of the state governor, Chukwuma Soludo. This is serious, oh. As if that's not enough. He also went further to say that he said whatever that was removed was as a result of a challenge we had with the agent that erected the board, according to the Signage company. That's director of Anambra Signage and Advertising Agency, Ansa. He said first and foremost is that the bridge you are talking about was having a Labour Party billboard. If you recall, in August, we sent out a message to all political parties to pay up their campaign fees. There was a lot of hula baloo about it. None of them has paid their own. So most of the parties that have not paid theirs, that have adverts on government assets, were removed. It has nothing to do with the governor. Governor didn't give any order. If they said they paid the campaign fees, let them give me any evidence. I should know. I am the Ansaa MD. They didn't pay the campaign fees, and we spoke to their media heads several times. We informed them about the enforcement, and they haven't paid it. So we decided to take down the advert. And he didn't stop there. He said it has nothing to do with the governor. Anybody that tells you anything about the governor and the billboard is telling you lies. Hmm. To make matters interesting, Ojubono added that when the advert was removed, government refunded the advertising agency that mounted the advert its money. He further said the money was refunded to the agency who owned the board, not to the client. We don't deal directly with Labour Party. We deal with the advertising agency that mounted the board. The money was refunded to the agency because they must have incurred some debt on that particular period. Now, I don't get it. There are lots of confusing things said here. The first one that was said was the fact that they agreed that the advert has been placed since October 2022. It has been there, and Labour Party is saying they have fully paid for the advert. And now Anambra State government is saying that they didn't pay them. Now it looks like there are two payments you're looking at here. Payments made to the advertising agency and payments that ought to be made to the government of Anambra State advertising agency, that's the signage. Now the question now is, while Labour Party insisted that they paid the money in full, okay, and they've not refunded the money to them. Anambra State government is saying there's no such thing like that. They did not pay any money to them, but rather that they removed it because they did not give them any money. So what they did was they refunded the money to the advertising agency. So who is not adding up? Except of course, but now Anambra state government is saying that they've tried reaching out to the media persons of Labour Party, of which they refused to answer them. What the media persons are saying, they have paid in full. So that from all indication, that particular place is very strategic, and the government of the day does not want Labour Party's signage or advertisement to be placed there. Now, with all this thing that is going on, to what end? To what end? And I feel that, according to the MD of Ansaa, he's saying that if there's any proof they should, that he's the MD, they should give him proof. Is it the 5 million or so that they wanted? I believe Labour Party is bigger than that. But if we continue like this, personal opinion, if we say that everybody should be paying for advertisement on government assets, I doubt it strongly if Soludo in his time paid 5 million for his advertisement when he was running for governorship of that state. I guess new policy. Okay, I agree that it's a new policy. If we do this, that means every other state will want to do the same. 5 million, 10 million to do advertisement. Then if you are doing 10 million, 5 million for advertisement and you lose the election, don't you think that, or you even win the election, don't you also think that the people who are involved here will also want a way of making their money? After all, they invested heavily. Let's make this thing attractive, okay, by allowing those common man, average Nigerians who have what it takes to serve to come. If you make campaigning expensive, it's only losers, criminals that will come in who have looted enough and who are willing to spend government money on the same government venture, so that eventually when they get it, they'll go and loot more. For God's sake, you can't continue like this. I feel that there should be some sort of understanding between the government of the day and Labour Party. Now, in for clarity's sake, Ansaa said that's the synergy signage company, advertising agency of the state, Anambra State, said that had nothing to do with any order from Soludo. I'm not saying it is, but we have always heard the standpoint of Soludo. Soludo have always made it very clear that he has really no support for Peter Obi. His support really lies with Atiku. So with this allegation, it's making it look as if it's possible that that may be coming from him. But I don't think so, because if he is, he would have said so, because Ansaa took their time to deny that allegation, saying they did it simply because the Labour Party have refused to pay for whatever it is the advertiser that they're supposed to have met them, okay, and they didn't have any direct dealing with Labour Party, rather with the agency. But whatever the case is, I pray that this whole thing is resolved and let the campaign continue. That's where we're going to wrap it up. Let's get to that conversation. Also, take have a nice time.